Oh, how do I start these?
Uh, well, you see, normally we say, hi, welcome back to our show, Talkin Trash,
Yeah,
featuring some dingus over here. I can't point the right direction, and then me with a new redhead.
perfect. Yep, this is. See, I let you handle the intro once. It's all good. Even it out.
Yeah, we'll just balance it out. I won't say anybody's names. I'll just call you the dingus, and I'll be the redhead.
Great,
We
great.
can host our own radio station.
I'm doing, I'm doing next show's intro.
Hey, you're the one that couldn't figure it out.
All right. Starting off with the news, we have a lot of news to run through, so some of it I'm gonna try to run through fast, but the first one we might have to be on for a minute. Uh, Maybe a month old or so now. I know deal was in the works for maybe a year, but Funimation is officially just absorbing Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Also, that talks about other things too, like you know how Verve, which by the way we love
mhm,
Verve, we both use it,
yep,
but
yep.
that also is going to go along with the purchase. So just like other subsidiaries that Crunchyroll kind of owned, all kind of went together with that Funimation purpose or
Yes.
purchase.
So I don't have Funimation, but I have Verve, and I love Verve not just for anime, but I do like it for like the old cartoons and
Yeah,
some of the more indie cartoons on there, like Bravest Warriors and Harmon Quest, things like that are really cool. So I hope those don't go away. Um, because that would
I would
suck.
imagine not at this point, but yeah, it's hard to take a guess right now with everything. Purchases like this stuff happen more often than you would think, but
Mhm.
it's very hard to gauge what consistency comes with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, just all I'm hoping with it is that it kind of consolidates what's available on streaming platforms.
Yeah. For instance, like this season especially, most of the stuff feels like that I'm watching is on Funimation more than Verve.
I'm watching
So if you
two
can
shows on Hulu. That's how fucked up the season is.
Yeah, like last season, I think we used Verve for everything. I
hmm
don't know if I watched Funimation for something. There was like 2 seasons ago I used it. Like
hmm
it's very inconsistent with what seasons you need for what things.
Yeah, I tend to find like one or two shows a year on Funimation, which is why I don't pay for it. The premium, I
Yeah,
usually don't care, but I don't know. If it consolidates it where I just need one streaming service and I'm going to get the Funimation and the Crunchyroll content, I'm happy with it. But I am a little worried about some of the originals because Crunchyroll's had some really good originals in the last year or two. I don't has Funimation even attempted originals?
you say that the Crunchyroll's had really good originals, and I just think of your weekly series that you had to do that pretty much stemmed your like growth
All right, so
of
look,
their gar.
they're hit or miss, but there were some hits.
Okay, okay, there was some
the
hits.
the
Yeah, I
webtoon
mean,
collaboration, which in itself was pretty hit or miss, and Odd Taxi and some of these other things we've gotten. And I'll miss X
yeah,
Arm.
yeah. Sometimes you gotta swing for the fences to get to cherish the good ones. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the Crunchyroll originals. I imagine it's not like they're absorbing and like like consolidating and trying to get rid of one. I feel like it's just a purchase to sort of bringing them all together. So maybe the Crunchyroll exclusives, maybe they'll be like their own studio and they'll do like, their Crunchyroll awards and stuff like that. And
hmm
Funimation can very well just determine the like streaming stuff and what they license, etc. So
Yeah. That Crunchyroll Awards is another thing I didn't consider either. That's like I don't want to say it's a super important thing that I really care about, but it's kind of a cool extra thing to have. Hopefully, Funimation doesn't axe all of those things.
yeah, I hope not because I mean, there are little things that sort of help you legitimize the whole anime thing to the point where now it feels more mainstream because you have an award show. And God knows you need to be mainstream for
Mhm.
that kind of stuff to exist. So I think there's a lot of benefits to the outside of just the anime that Crunchyroll streams that Crunchyroll provides as a service.
Mhm. Yeah, and I want to jump into the next bit of news now. We have a few things in the movie section here. Belle came out and it made over 5 billion yen in the first 5 weeks there, and I hadn't heard of it until after the 5 weeks where it was just crushing it in the box office. But apparently, there's
Yeah.
anime Beauty and the Beast now. That's a thing. And then you had a bit of movie news yourself here.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit more you might have heard, but the less important stuff is that the Pokemon the movie Secrets of the Jungle, which is the one of the newer Pokemon and it's the most recent movie, is going to go added to Netflix on October 8th. However, right now, if you have Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can also go on and you can get a shiny Celebi and a Zarude like as like a mystery gift kind of thing. So for people who are very into that, and I know specifically like Zarude is a Pokemon that hasn't really been available to Americans to be able to use or stuff like that. So if you want to obtain that and stuff like that, I think that's kind of why I think it's interesting right now because this has been something that we've kind of been out for like 8 months and they're finally getting this movie. There's been like talk about it. You know, the Pokemon that's, you know, the namesake of this film has been like the TCG and the games and stuff like
Yeah,
that, but they haven't been readily accessible. So here it is finally coming to America.
I miss the good old days as a kid going to watch like a Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon movie, and the movie tickets came with a trading card.
I still have some of those
Those
ones
were the
from Yu-Gi-Oh!
times.
Especially. Yes. I
Oh,
remember with like the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, I knew somebody who worked at the movie theater and they gave us like 50 of those packs and we didn't realize there was only
oh.
like 5 cards in the pack. So we just got like 5 of each card.
That's you're a scalper. That's it. You started young. And
Would you
it's
like to
coming
see the
back.
4
It's coming
boxes of
back
the
to
new
bite you now.
Pokemon set that I opened?
It's coming back to bite you now. This is why you can't
Yep.
find boxes. It's karma.
Granted, I already opened 4 boxes of the most recent set, but totally karma.
All right, now the JoJo's specific section of the news block. JoJo's Part 6 is going to be coming to Netflix in December this year.
Yeah, I forget if it's the 3rd or the 8th. It's like but it's like, one of those first couple weeks that it's gonna be coming on there. I don't know if we got all of the episodes to be coming at once or it's gonna be like an incremental thing. They haven't really announced that aspect, but I am really looking forward to it. Jolene's probably my favorite JoJo or one of my favorite JoJos. I read all of part 6 in like 3 days at
Hmm.
the start of quarantine, and I've been waiting for this since.
All right, I mean, I'm waiting for it. I'm looking forward to it, but I am an anime only, so I'm ready to be introduced to Jolene. I'm excited for it.
You
Uh,
ready to have Jolene be the this ending theme song? Because you know it's gotta.
fuck. Uh, and I don't
I'd
know
sing it, but we
with
don't want to be DMCA'd.
yeah, that's the only reason why you shouldn't sing it.
Yeah, not that I'm a terrible singer.
And yeah, I don't know. Knowing Netflix, I know they love to just drop it all at once.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know,
Or they
but
separate it in like 2 parts, so maybe we'll get like 12
yeah,
episodes at
that
one
that might
point.
make more sense because I can't imagine all of it's gonna be finished airing
Yeah.
by early December if it hasn't
The other
even
weird thing about
started.
JoJo's is that they're always that one anime that breaks away from the conventional norm of 13 episodes, 24 episodes. Like, I think part 5 was 39 episodes or something along
Yeah,
those lines.
yeah,
Yeah, so,
something weird.
like, you can expect this to just be a random increment of episodes depending on how they wanna pace themselves.
Yeah, yeah, I have no idea. Whenever it comes out, I'll watch it, but we'll see. Uh,
Soon.
Other JoJo news. Again, this is a little old because it's been a while since we've had an episode here, but JoJo's Part 9 was announced. The manga. All I know so far is just the title is JoJo Lands. I don't know if anything has been released since that initial name drop.
I don't think there's too much that's come out about it right now. I mean, like part 8 is still is either still being wrapped up or has just wrapped up. So there really isn't too much going on there. But I mean, it's a Rocky. At any given moment, you could have like all the information, or he'll just give you bits and pieces as he goes. The man's immortal, so it's not like he's in a rush. Have you seen pictures of that man? Like over like the past 30 years, he looks like he just hasn't aged at all.
I I've seen pictures. I could not tell you what time they're from. Guess I know
Exactly.
what he looks like though. Just at any age. All right. A bunch of sequels to shows that either just ended or ended earlier this year to run through. Attack on Titan's coming in January, which is awesome. That's way sooner than I thought. To Your Eternity Season 2 will be fall of next year. Demon Slayer is going to be 2 cores. That is also starting in the fall.
The
Record
other
of
one's actually
Ragnarok.
going to be in the winter as well,
Mm,
just for like additional like. So it's gonna be a fall. Then I think they're gonna take like one season off and then jump back into it.
okay, okay. And I don't. Netflix saw Record of Ragnarok Season 1 and said, yeah, let's do that again. So they've announced Record of Ragnarok Season 2 for some reason.
I feel like Netflix has this feeling where they like to try to get like 3 seasons in. Like no matter what, if it doesn't do well, it's either one season, 3 seasons. So we might be in the long haul for this one if it got a second season already.
I saw something today, just real quick. It was like Netflix has like 80 or 90 anime in production right now, and just like they should just do like 1 or 2 good instead of making a bunch of mediocre ones.
Well, fingers crossed it doesn't end up interfering with JoJo's because that would be a tragedy.
Yeah. No, that's a lot to work on. I feel like everything that gets announced for an anime, but you don't know where yet, is a little a little scary. And then 2 new, I guess season ones. One's a sequel. Whatever. 2 new announcements. Blue Lock, the soccer manga, big soccer manga right now, had an anime announced for 2022, and the Tatami Time Machine Blues anime, which is the sequel to the Tatami Galaxy, was announced. I think that's a really interesting one. I haven't seen Tatami Galaxy, but it is Time Machine Blues is going to be directed by Shingo Natsume, who's done One Punch Man, Space Dandy, and the currently airing Sunny Boy.
I think that's the more interesting part to me
Mm-hmm.
because that's like confusion, fever dream, meme show.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, it's something I didn't realize when I said it last time we met here. I mentioned that Sunny Boy reminded me a lot, like it could be something like Ping Pong, the animation. Masaki Yuasa is the guy that directed season 1 Tatami Galaxy. He also did Ping Pong. He did Devilman Crybaby. He has worked with Shingo Natsume on several projects.
so we can
And
expect similar art styles to
yeah,
be
I don't
drawn
want to
again.
call it a passing of the torch because that indicates that Yuasa is done, but it feels like a Yuasa student or something, like his teaching being passed along of getting some of
Hmm.
these kind of out there more art
Oh boy,
pieces.
Sunny Boy is out there.
We're getting like art pieces instead of TV shows. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be good. I guess I have to go watch Atomic Galaxy first, but I think it'll
That
be
one's been out, and that's been one that's been out for a while, and everyone who's like
yeah,
watched it has said that it's good, but it's one of those ones that not many people try to watch.
yeah. No, it's been on my plan to watch list for like 5 years. I just
Let's be
never
honest, you're
get
not
to
going to
it.
get to
I might now. I might.
it. For the
uh,
sake of the show, you might.
yeah, that's true. And the last bit of news I have is Star Wars Visions is coming to Disney Plus on September 22nd. So get Disney Plus ready as your new anime streaming service. Um, if if you are unaware what Star Wars Visions is, it's just I believe it's 9 episodes of like Star Wars short series, mini series, spin-offs, whatever they're going to be, and I think it's 9 different anime studios handling it, like one per episode. The ones I
That's cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
the ones that I know for sure doing it are Trigger, Science, Saru, and Production IG. Like I said, I'm assuming
Um,
there's 6 other studios also in there. I know there's a handful of others I
yeah,
didn't
and those
name.
are some like already just big names that you have sitting there between IG and Trigger. Like
Mhm.
those are ones that you see constantly. So it'll be interesting to get those like stylistic differences and see if it
Yeah,
kind of flows well.
yeah, and I think for the Trigger one, I forget the actor, but one of the voice actors I think was Neil Patrick Harris. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I'm in.
Can I have Neil Patrick Harris for voicing Jar Jar?
Hey, animated by Trigger, anything's possible.
That sounds so bizarre, but you know what? I'm living for it.
Oh, yes, that's.
Misa gotta suit up.
But
Yeah, I'm
like
sorry, I
in
had
Neil
to do
Patrick
it.
Harris voice still somehow.
Yeah.
All right, jumping into the mid season, the mid to late season updates because we're a little delayed here.
I mean, we're like 8 weeks in instead of like the 6 to 8 to
Yeah,
7
yeah,
range that we like to go. Not so bad.
it's not too bad.
But it's okay because next season's gonna be really good. But for now, let's jump into our sleepers of this season.
So the sleeper I had last season, or the at the beginning of the season, my preseason pick was ID and Deity's No Only Peace. I'm not that far into it. I am not caught up to it. It started off as like, yeah, you know what? I think I might have nailed this. It's got some potential. It looks pretty good. Seems kind of funny. Has some good action. But then like, it has some scenes that are like just difficult to watch, and it's one that I don't know if I personally want to keep watching, and it's one that's like impossible to recommend to people. It almost reminds me of Dead Leaves, so I guess if you're a fan of Dead Leaves, check it out. But other than that, I don't really want to consider it my sleeper for the season.
It sounds like something you would probably need to watch if you wanted to go start to finish. Like it feels like the weekly part is definitely making it hard for you to determine whether or not you have like a strong feeling or not about it.
Possible, yeah. And I think what is actually replacing it for me is my sleeper pick, and I brought it up last time, kind of jokingly, but still kind of excited. I think Fena Pirate Princess might be pretty good. I don't think it's great. I don't think there's many things in this season that are great,
Yeah,
but
great great is a loose term for this season. That much is for sure. Yeah,
I think Fena could be like a very solid show.
yeah. I mean, I think that like the story of like the season as a whole is that you're not gonna find your like top anime that are gonna reach the top 100. These are things that you have to find that are more niche that are probably gonna be things that you're gonna enjoy. I mean, like your most popular anime right now are the three sequels that came from last season. Like
Yeah,
that kind of is like a rather telling feeling about how things are going as a whole.
yeah. I've spent a lot of this season watching non-anime things or catching up on anime that I had missed in the past. And I don't feel like I've made a bad choice there. Like I feel like I'm not really missing out
Yeah.
on too much.
I mean, there's definitely some that I like, but again, it's gonna be niche. Like my
Yeah.
sleeper, I'm still gonna keep up with Remain, which, if you don't remember, is a anime about water polo. Like, I still, I up until the last episode, I've been like super into it, and then they did something in this most recent episode that I watched, and it like made me frustrated and hesitant to see how it's gonna go for the rest of the season. But like for the most part, I look at this anime and I'm like, okay, this is a cool sports anime. It's not going to be Haikyuu levels, it's not going to be
No.
Kuroko levels, but it's a fun watch. I appreciate the like development in terms of like no one's super OP and their growth and stuff like that. Like they have like good tropes for a sports anime that is nice if you're willing to jump into something like water polo.
I don't know. I watch any sport anime. I watch any sport that they make an anime of. I don't know how to phrase that. I watched half of Burning Comedy. That's probably the the short version.
It's gonna be better than All Outs if you've ever seen that
I
anime.
have seen All Out, and I would also expect Remain to be better.
All right, so what you're saying is that it's at a high bar there. Got it.
Yeah. And I like rugby. I just All Outs is just oh, no, no, no.
Uh, and speaking of high bars set, let's talk about our overrated anime because we agree on this one for a change.
Yes. my my prediction from the first episode is what you've just changed your current view to. In The Detective is Already Dead. I
Yeah.
I watched like most of episode 1 and I was out. I have not
First of
continued on
all,
with it.
I have typically lose interest in anime that their first episodes are longer than the 23-minute start. That is like, it's a hard sell for me to make me want to start and sit there for 40 minutes because my brain's attention span isn't that great. And when it's not that great of an anime, like Fate was an exception. Fate, you're allowed to do 40 minutes.
Yep.
You can't do 40 minutes for this anime because by episode 3, I'm like, why am I still watching this?
Yeah, I wasn't interested in it. I still stand by it as the preseason prediction of I think it was the like most members or something, like most people ready to watch it
Yeah, it
before
was
the
up
season
there for
started.
sure.
It seems like everyone has come around to be like, never mind. It's not what we thought it would be.
It's currently sitting at a 6.77 right now.
Yeah, that's not great for the most popular
No.
show of the season.
And yeah, you have Reincarnated as a Slime, Kobayashi, and then that is the third most added one.
That's not great. That is not good for your most popular season 1 of a show. Another one I want to bring up here in the overrated, not because I dislike it, I actually like it quite a bit, but is Vanitas, the case study of Vanitas.
Yeah, that one's actually doing really well in terms of like reviews and stuff like that.
That one is the highest rated season 1 or new show for the season. I feel like that's overrated because I don't think it's the best new show, but it's pretty good. It reminds me.
I'm actually like looking forward to trying that out.
It reminds me so much of Bungu Stray Dogs.
Okay.
If you've seen
That's not
that,
a bad thing to have though.
it's like I watched it and I'm like, this. If you told me it was like a side character spin-off of Bungu Stray Dogs, written by the same guy, directed by the same director, same animation, everything, I would believe you. Like, it feels like the exact same thing, but instead of super powered people, it's vampires. Like, it's the exact same feeling.
They're just trying to appeal to the female audience more.
Oh no, I'm sure. Like, it's like, well, Deviant Art, Bungu Stray Dogs is huge, but also so is like Black Butler and Twilight. So if we just combine them, we're set.
You have this.
Just rolling in money. So yeah, that's what that is.
Apparently, right now it is rolling in money based off of if you want to go solely on reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it's doing well, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's just going to be a good show, above average, but not not going to blow us away. I feel
like that's how you feel about this entire season. So, which is fair. Again, which is fair.
Yep. I will kick off Dumpster Fire because we have to transition from your pick into anime of the season, because in the beginning you called Sunny Boy your Dumpster Fire and I called it anime of the season, so we are on polar opposites for at least the preseason predictions. So I'll start the Dumpster Fire. And another one that I kind of jokingly threw out there, Girlfriend is the Dumpster Fire of the season.
Oh yeah, no, Girlfriend is.
It is. It's
even just the name of it made it sound like it wasn't gonna go well. And
it's
no.
If we had a category for like worst show of the season or big flop or whatever, sure, you can throw out Sunny Boy or whatever you want. Girlfriend is the Dumpster Fire of this season. It is just too apt of a title. It is the domestic girlfriend. If you read the description and the title and everything about this show, you have a certain expectation, and the show is exactly that.
It's garbage harem.
If you want to watch domestic girlfriend levels garbage, it absolutely delivers.
I can probably recommend you better harem than what's going on right now if you really want.
Oh, I'm sure I can write better harem than what's going on right now.
You mean you don't want to fit every single stereotypical trope in?
Oh no, it's so good. It is so bad. That's it.
Yes, it is so good, it is so bad.
That's it.
The wise words to live by.
It's just so bad that it's like, oh, if you're worried about how dense most harem characters are, this is like It's like they're
Knock
not
on the head,
dense.
hear the hollow.
It's like they're not dense. They know what they're saying and they know what they're doing. They just don't give a shit because they're all terrible people. It's awesome.
So far you've called it awesome, good, but also the dumpster fire and garbage.
Anime was mistake.
All right.
Let's get to the Sunny Boy experience.
Yeah, because oh boy, is that an experience. Let's see. I've watched 8 episodes of Sunny Boy. The continuity confuses the hell out of me. It is still an anime that I start every episode and I go, did I miss something in between here? Because it's just very confusing. There's no there's like very loose linearity to it. The animation, like, is again, it's a style, but it's a style that just I feel like isn't great right now for things that like I feel like you probably can use this for other things personally and probably make it work. But I think the mix of that, just no clear understanding of somebody watching this weekly, knowing what the heck is going on when you're also trying to watch 5 other anime. It's just
Mhm.
I'm watching it, I think, partially out of pure frustration and hope that I'll eventually understand what happens by the end of it.
It's kind of what you were saying earlier about eating deities. It might be maybe not the best one to watch weekly, because it can get super confusing.
Yeah.
I'm
Also, there's like no opening, so it just throws you right in there. Like I'm
no
fine with
shit. You're
anime with
right.
no opening, but it just throws you into the part where you don't know what's going on.
See, I was confused. I didn't realize. I didn't even notice that it just didn't have an opening because the opening has been Hulu ad break for me. Um, I'm still taking Sunny Boy's anime the season, not really based too much off of what it has done so far, but more what it can do. I think it just has such a higher ceiling than anything else this season. It could be a 9 or a 10 if it pulls everything
I'm
off.
gonna be honest, that's what I was hoping it would be when I started it.
Well,
So I understand. I mean, I think your feelings are justified because again,
mhm,
I felt the same way. I mean, think about the stuff that it has going for it. Like again, you have like Natsume
mhm,
working on it. You have Madhouse like directing it. There's
yeah,
like these positives that lead to possibly something good to come out of it. And I just no.
yeah. That's. I mean, it's a very, I guess, like a high risk, high reward, or a boom or bust kind of thing, where it could be a 1 or it could be a 10.
Yeah,
But I think that's why I have to pick it as anime of the season and kind of stick to my guns on that as a preseason prediction because I don't think anything else, at least non-sequel wise, I don't think anything else could possibly be even a 9. I feel like this season is just
unless
very
you count
good
things that are
shows.
continuing from last season. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
leaving those
probably.
out. I'm not counting the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tokyo Avengers and My
Uh-huh.
Hero because My Hero is a 10 out of 10 right
My
now.
well, my hero isn't gonna be scratching an 8, let alone a 9.
My Villain Academia is kind of cool. I don't know.
It is, but it's not redeeming enough
Oh,
right now. That and it's 7.5 rating right now.
and I have to bring it up because now it fits the talking about the currently airing things. While this season has been kind of a lull, and I've had been able to watch other things and catch up on other things, I actually think compared to all the new shows, Boruto is holding its own. And it
I
pains me to say it, but the last like 10 to 12 episodes of Boruto have kind of slapped.
do you know what the ratings for right now for Boruto are on my anime list?
I'm sure it's like a 5.5.
It is a 5.8. It
Yeah.
is there
It's
are hentai that have higher rated reviews than that.
I have hated Boruto for 200 goddamn
And
episodes.
yet you watched it?
I
You
hey,
masochist?
hey, hey, hey. I gotta make content for this channel some way. X-Arm ended, I have to complain about something. It's been Boruto. But in all seriousness, I stick with it because I like Naruto universe and all those things. I think it has potential to be good. It just has been falling flat on its face for the last 3 years. But it has recently finally been okay. I would even call it above average over the last 2 to 3 months.
So what you're saying is that I should check back in 2 months and see if the ratings are above a 6 after this arc.
Yeah. Mention me on Twitter. I'll let you know where I'm at. I'll stay caught up.
Okay, sounds like a plan then.
And while we're talking about the best anime ever, what was your anime of the season? I know you had two predictions
Yeah,
early on.
and honestly, like I still stick by them right now because I still think Aquatope of the White Sand, or I'll just call it Aquatope for the sake of
Yeah.
being yeah. So
Yeah, for
Aquatope
that.
is one of those levels. Wow, one of those anime that is gonna again hit that niche. It's these two girls, like college level, and one of them is sort of trying to figure themselves out at the later developmental age of not really sure what they want to do. And they went from like one big area to a completely different lifestyle. And it's kind of just like that journey and like that life growth. And I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to. Even if you can't find yourself relating to the characters individually, you can kind of relate to the growth aspect. And maybe we've all had to go somewhere for an extended period of time to sort of figure ourselves out. And I think
Mhm.
like it does a good job about that kind of concept, especially when, and this isn't spoilers, it's literally what you find out in the first like 5 minutes, but like this person was a like singer. They were in like, they were getting to the point of like possible fame, and they go from that to like this right now. And it's like a very distinct difference. And again, it's that almost cliche that you've seen in movies where like the big famous person goes to like the countryside and then, learns to
Uh,
discover about themselves, but that does it in a way that's charming and that I very much appreciate it. Also girl love, but
yeah, it's it's funny because you're saying it's niche, and you've mentioned the nicheness of other parts of this season, and it really is just the pick of what kind of genre you like or things you're into. Is just there's a show this season that fits that. Probably just one, maybe
yeah.
two, and that's probably the only one or two shows you should watch. Like,
And you really again, like it's really just like you have to be willing to like dig a little deeper than what's on
mhm,
the surface with this season, because we're not going to have seasons that bless us like this season or like next season. It's going to be, or no, sorry, last season and the next
mhm,
season. It's one of those things that, sometimes if you really want to like try to see what's airing right now, you're going to look around and maybe you'll find something that's charming like Aquatope.
mhm.
And if you don't, you can always just keep watching Tokyo Revengers like I am.
Yeah, Tokyo Revengers is awesome. It is really good.
Remember when you thought it was going to be dumpster fire?
I still, as much as I love it and love watching it, I'm still conflicted so much because I hate Takamichi. He's so just. I see people all the time complain about how much Deku cried in early seasons. Watching Takamichi, he's like, I have to save this person's life, and that person's getting shot 10 times in front of him, and he's just standing there looking at them. Do something!
Yeah.
You went
There
back in
so
time 13 years to
so
look at them.
not to put spoilers, but there is like the most recent chapter that came out like yesterday is, I read a comment pretty much similar to that about Takamichi. Is just like, how did you just like how do you just let that like why do you just stand there, like why don't you do like, I think
It's
the comment
so
was, do these people are just like have so much toxic masculinity that they're not going to call an ambulance?
yeah, that too. It's like if your sole mission and your superpower, you can go back into the past 13 years and you know specifically, I have to change this one specific event. You can't stand 30 feet away and watch that event. Do something.
Yeah,
He's
like
like the
you know the
worst
meme that
character in his own show.
yeah, but Draken,
Draken's awesome. Draken's
I love
the
Draken.
best.
Literally one of my favorites.
He's like the
Watch
coolest
Tokyo
12-year-old.
Revengers, and if you're enjoying it, read Tokyo Revengers. There's 220 chapters. There's plenty for you to watch. Also, because of like how well the Tokyo Revengers is doing in America for the anime, it's more people have already speculated that a season 2 is going to come because it's so widely popular and there's
Mhm.
so much content to go for. But in all honesty, you should expect the manga to have physical releases at some point. The biggest problem is that there's only so many licensing that, manga publishers distribute to America. So you have to be really limited on your licensing and stuff like that. But there's so much desire already online about trying to get like physical mangas for it that you're probably going to see that in the future. Obviously, they're going to have to sort of censor some stuff because if you've ever looked at
Yeah.
the manga, the manji symbol is used for very similar reasons that if you remember in Bleach, when he had the full bring and it was like the same argument of, oh, that looks like a swastika, but in reality, yeah, I think it was Buddhist for like life or something along
I
those
think it's
lines. And that's
peace, actually.
peace. Yeah.
Peace.
So it was, I mean, life, peace, they kind of go together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry but yeah. So I think it's one of those things that if you are interested in it, you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of this to come in probably
Yeah.
like the next couple years or so.
Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable on what's going on with the physical manga, so I can't really add too much to that. But we absolutely have to see a season 2 come out of this. There's no
Yeah.
way that it gets as
Again, there's
popular as it is with that much source material, and they just
yeah,
ignore it.
and again, like the longer that it goes on, the more source material there's going to be. Because it's not like they're going to go next season into it. So more than likely, you can very well have 300 chapters before season 2 ends up even coming out, and
Mhm.
that's so much to cover.
Yeah, that's funny. They'll be able to work with that for a handful of seasons. I mean, not just 2, but
Yeah, I
it's
think
a
well they
lot.
do a good job right now with 24 episodes to cover a good portion of it. To be fair, but
Mhm.
you can probably get 2-3 seasons out of what we have right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the one that I look forward to the most every single week. So I can't blame you at all for calling that one out, even if it is a leftover from last season. Last
Hmm.
season was just that good.
Yeah, I mean we were all sitting there so pumped for 2 Year Eternity, so pumped for Tokyo Revengers. Like there are these leftover ones that are good for a reason. And again, while we do want to try to talk about the other options out there, I don't want to sell or discredit
Mhm.
how much I've enjoyed Tokyo Revengers and how thankful I am that I gave this one a shot and how thankful that I am that I've sort of just like dove into this. I jokingly went on at like 2 a.m. on to look to see if I could find like a Tokyo Manji, jacket because I just was like, I'm so into it right now that I thought it would like be cool to have like hanging.
The anime version that comes with an automatic sun glare would be looking like this wearing the jacket.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. I'll only hang the front.
just, just a plain black jacket. All right.
All right.
Anything else to add?
No, I mean, again, I think the general consensus of this anime or the season as with anime in general, is just that you're gonna have to dig a little bit. You're gonna have to be willing to break out of the norm of what you see everybody talking about if you really do want to find something new, because there are things that are worth watching. They're just not, again, up to the standard that we're used to from the seasons around it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think this is the kind of season where if there's something else you like that's similar, you can take a shot. If you like Yuasa Works, you take the shot on Sunny Boy. If you like the cute girls doing cute things genre, you can go for Aquatope. If you like sports, go for Remain. If you like Bongu Stray Dog specifically, that one anime, then you can go for Vanitas. Like it's that kind of season, and I don't feel like you need to watch more than 1 or 2 shows. Really, there's just
No, if we
not a
weren't doing
great
the
depth here.
show, we would be probably watching much less than we are. But we
Yeah.
gotta diversify how much we're watching and how much. And like, it's easy to talk well about these things when we're trying to actively find reasons for it. But if you're a casual watcher, you're probably not going to see these like kind of things. We're just trying to paint the picture a little bit more for people.
Yeah, I might you might find your time better used catching up on some of the things that are coming out next season, reminding yourself of how season one's ended. Could be better used than watching what's out now.
Or be like me, look forward to Blue Period. I talk about that literally every 2 episodes, so I just try to get it in.
Had to throw it in there. When does that air?
Next season.
Oh, good. All right. Then you actually can talk about it. All right, great.
Yep, it's already
That's
by
it.
the end of the season. Don't worry.
Great. Great. Great, something to look forward to. We still have another episode of this season, but that's it. We'll see you.